Okay.
All right. We're calling the Monday, January 11th Parks and Recreation Commission meeting to order. Rick, we don't have any public forum, I don't see. Do you?
No.
You're the host. All right, so we're skipping right along here. I don't have any correspondence at this point either. Do we get anything that I don't know about?
No.
Okay, moving along here. All right, so we need to approve the December 7th minutes and the December 21st minutes, right? So can I get a motion to accept the minutes of December 7th?
I make a motion.
Second.
Laura.
I got a second? I heard a second.
Second.
All right,
Yeah.
any additions, any corrections, anything we need to fix here, guys? Everybody good? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
The minutes of the budget workshop minutes from December 21st. You have a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the December 21st, 2020 meeting minutes, budget workshop minutes.
Any idea? Oh, second, somebody second?
Hey, hang on.
Second.
I'll second.
I didn't get those in the packet. Were they in the packet?
Yes, they,
No, they weren't actually in the packet. You're right, Lawrence.
I
I'm just.
think she took
looking at me.
separately.
No, the 21st meeting minutes were in the packet. December
Yeah.
7th
Seventh
meetings
was
were,
not in the
minutes were not in the packet. They were
Correct.
in an email.
Yeah.
right.
I'm gonna have to abstain because I didn't receive those.
That was the budget.
I didn't receive them in an email or in the packet.
Okay. I got mine in an email, but you're right. I got the December 7th ones came in the packet. The 21st came in the email.
Mhm.
All right,
other
so
way.
any additions or corrections to the December 21st minutes? All in favor?
Right.
Aye.
Aye.
Laura abstains as I wasn't there.
Okay,
If
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
accurate.
Can I change, the first one voted on was December 7th? Minutes, the budget meeting minutes?
no, the budget meeting minutes were the 21st.
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. Oh, I did get those, my bad. Okay, good
Okay,
enough.
we're good. All right. Okay, let's take a look at our expenditures. Any questions on the expenditures?
I want to make a comment on the front page of there, Rose. You know, the bottom of the utilities, Jen lumped in all the weight room stuff. But
Yep.
one thing that she missed, I caught this morning, was the weight room gas, where you see
Okay.
up above, there's SCG, Southern Gas Company. If you
Yep.
look, it says
Oh,
VHS
it's
weight room.
up there. I see it, yes. So that should be down.
156, that 156.46 should be added to the total she had of 1,049.50. So
Yep.
that should be 1,205.96.
Okay.
Jim was playing around with a couple different formats, and I hopefully you like this one. I think it's pretty easy to read. She tried something different this month. If you don't like it, well, she can try something else. But she just missed that one and forgot to put it down under Guilford High School.
No, I think it makes sense having them grouped. It gives us a better idea of what's happening. I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it. I do like it. She's
I like the detail. I like the defective stapler. It was returned.
we aim to keep people entertained.
That's right. We do.
We do. We used to buy 400 keys. That used to be the joke, but that.
We had some oven parts return. So
All right, a motion to accept our expenditures.
I make a motion to accept the expenditures with the change under the utilities as discussed.
Second,
I'll second.
any other comments? Does anybody else have a comment?
So the
Yeah, what-
total would be
Rick, I have a comment.
114,000.
Expensive stapler.
I have a comment.
Stay
Rick, what is, it says health and clothing, John Hopkins medical exam?
John Hopkins is a seasonal employee, and all of our seasonal employees have to go through what's called an HPE, Human Performance Evaluation, before they get hired. It's like they got to lift a 50-pound weight, and they got to do
Okay.
some. it's so we don't want to hire somebody that's already got a bad back and it's already injured and now they're gonna claim a workers' comp case or something.
Yeah,
So
okay.
every employee who has any kind of physical job has to go through that.
So
Okay.
We pay for it.
does this mean that we've hired one part-time guy?
A seasonal guy, yes. Late, I mean, we normally have them, throughout the fall.
I
And
know,
normally
that's
let
right.
them go by second week of December, but because we didn't have anybody, I talked to Mitch about it. Said, look, we got work, we can still use the help. We didn't spend the money yet. Can we hire him? And he said, yes. So we
Perfect.
got it. And, at some point, we'll probably have to let him go maybe in February, March, February, and then we're gonna pick him up again in March anyway. So, but Tony needs the help, so
But he
we're doing,
knows it, so good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm glad we got somebody.
Okay. Any more comments on the bills before we vote? All right, all in favor of accepting the bills?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. The majority.
Aye.
All right, director's reports. Rick.
Well, as I said, mostly what I did this past month was budget stuff. So there's not a long report here, but I'm sorry, I typed this from home myself. That's why number 5 and 6 kind of ran together. No
Okay.
big deal. We had a holiday staff, Christmas lunch for the staff. But I do want to add something that I had a meeting today. After our department head meeting, Sonia Marina, the health director, wanted to meet with me and Terry about how we're going to get vaccinations available for senior citizens. It's a very cumbersome process for a senior to sign up. It's
Boy.
it's called VAMS, I think. Nick, I don't know anything about this, but it's VAMS. It's I looked at it very briefly this afternoon, but the bottom line is it's pretty cumbersome. So we're looking at really a 3-step process to help. One is to help promote it for seniors, through our newsletter. Another is to try to figure a way to help them register. We may do the registration for them. One of the things that Sonia is going to look into with the state health department is, can we put in our newsletter a paper form for them to fill out, whatever this form is, because we've been told by a number of sources it's very cumbersome to try to do it online. And on top of that, not every senior has a computer. And right now, the way it's set
Right.
up, you have to do it by email. Not
Yeah.
everybody, and a lot of them don't have the comfort level to do it. So we're trying to do it that we can help with our office staff, and maybe we get help from the library staff, and maybe we collect the forms. Maybe we get 200 of them. I don't know. Maybe we enter the data into the system for them. But then part 2 would be, can we get the vaccines at the community center? So
Yeah.
Walgreens, CVS, whatever, don't get flooded with 1,000 senior citizens coming there. We would set up
Great idea.
appointments like we do for the drive-through lunches. One
Right.
thing Sonia was talking about, maybe doing it as a drive-through shot. I said, well, there's some problems with that. Number one, it's winter. They're gonna have to take their coat off in their car. They're gonna have to probably take a sweater off, roll up their sleeve. And what happens, they get the jab in the arm, and they take off, and oh wait, the needle's still in there, come back.
So Rick, I'm sorry, I missed the first part. Is this the COVID vaccine?
Yeah.
Yes.
So they gotta wait 15, 30
Right.
minutes
Right.
afterwards.
Right.
They
Wait.
gotta-
Oh, yeah.
And
So
that
you
would have
gotta
been a
be
problem with the
careful
drive-through.
with that.
So
Yeah.
I offered, well, why don't we do it in the community center, and we'll set up
Yeah.
time. So anyway, she's got to work all that out. It's really not our decision. We just offered, it's available. And, the seniors
Great.
trust us, know us. I think they're comfortable coming to the center. And that could help take a lot of heat off of Walgreens, CVS, or wherever else can be offering these things. If we can help get it done in our building, she's going to look into that. The only getting the shot is the easy part. It's the registration sounds like it's very cumbersome. Do you know anything about it, Nick?
I mean, it depends on the organization. I think I think most of us are familiar with MyChart, which I think Yale uses, Griffin uses, and we use it with Hartford Healthcare, and we try to use it with the testing. And it is, as you've said, it is an absolute care to get these people registered, because a lot of them, like you said, don't have a computer. They have no one
Right.
to register them, and they have to do it to get the results, because there's so many that we're not able to call them if they test positive. So
Right.
if we can take them out of the equation and register them on our own, and get them set up and just say, hey, you need to be here at 10, then it's very, very easy at that point.
When
But
when do they
Well, try-
anticipate that the seniors will actually start to get these shots? I mean, I know we've been on my chart all day today.
I
Well,
thought I
so
saw-
again, Nick, you can weigh in if you know more, but what I heard at the meeting this morning is that the 1B, I guess, the next wave
Yeah.
is going to be people 75 and older.
That's
So not
Dennis.
every senior is going to be eligible yet for it, but 75 and older. And I think, they're looking at teachers and they're
Right.
looking at town employees as possibly being essential employees. When I met with Sonia today, I said, well, from our department, I think if you got to break it down, I think our first line has to be our cooks. Because if they're out, there's a lot of people not getting meals. And, and they're in a very
Yeah.
small environment,
Right,
very
whole
close.
room there. Absolutely.
I said probably second for us is bus drivers because they are
Yep.
in their 70s, not 75. But again, they're relatively close
Mhm.
contact with people transporting. I said after that, whatever, office staff. But I think those are our first priorities. They're talking about public works being first priority. So I said, well, if they are, then our parks guys have to because they're
Absolutely.
talking
They
about
do as
snow
well.
removal. If they're all out,
Yeah.
snow's not. I said, well, yeah, but our guys are also removing snow. So I said, I want to make sure the public works is the next phase. Don't leave our guys out. So she knows that. And right now they also took a survey of all town employees to find out who would get it. It's not required. They're strongly recommending.
Right.
I'll find out later this week if there are any of our employees who have not done it. I've reminded them twice to make sure they get it in. So I don't know who did, who didn't. But Mitch and his assistant are keeping track of that. So I think by Wednesday, I'll know if I got to push any more of our staff. Again, they don't have to do it. It's voluntary.
Right.
It's
Oh, no, I
strongly
know
recommend
that.
they get it. We can't make them get it, but they do need to do the survey so that if it comes down that at some phase 1B, 1C or whatever, 1Q, that they say, all right, we want town employees, are in line here. How many are they going to get? How many vaccines they have to order? So, I think the main thing right now is trying to work with the seniors. How do we get them in there? How do we get them registered? And as I said, I offered to that if Sonia can find out if we can register them, but the issue may be HIPAA laws, because there are some
Right.
questions, yes, on the questionnaire about, allergies and maybe medical issues. That might be a stumbling block for us doing it. But if we can get past that,
Would be
I-
helpful.
it'll go a long way for us to help the seniors get in because it's a challenging process. The firefighters, EMS people have all done it already.
They're done, right? The police are done, I believe.
The police, they did that. And Sonia said, she didn't call it a nightmare, but she said, even a lot of those people had a heck of a time getting to register to do it. It's a challenge.
Hey, Rick. Suzanne said she's trying to get in.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see her.
It's okay. Sorry to interrupt you.
So Nick, when do
There
they
she is.
think that this will actually, we're all talking about
Thanks, Claire.
preparing. When do they actually think these seniors are going to start to get a shot? A week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Do you have any idea?
It depends on the shot. It depends on their accessibility. That's really the issue. We as an organization, Hartford Healthcare, are worried about our own people. We're having enough trouble just kind of trying to organize it on our end. Because we have a lot of people who is just going off of shifts and all of that. I would imagine, I really think what it comes down to is when these are going to be at public facilities like the Walgreens, the CVS's, the public practice or the medical practices and that type of
Are they
thing.
going to the doctors themselves?
At some point, yes. I don't know. But that is how this is mostly going to be distributed, I would imagine. I'm assuming it'll be kind of like flu shot clinics. It's going to be very similar. That's how we're doing it internally, is we're just treating it like a flu shot clinic. I got mine last week in the exact same place I got my flu shot, 6 months ago. Same setup. They just had to wait a little longer afterward.
Yeah. Okay.
I would
I saw
think
in the
that
paper.
wouldn't the state of Connecticut start almost working with towns to set up stations, Nick? Does that sound?
I don't know. On the state end, I have no idea.
Yeah. Because I
that
would think you'd have to have a nurse present at least.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
We had a pharmacist
Right.
do ours. You have to. It can't be one of us doing it.
Right.
'Cause the only thing with the COVID vaccine is there are some anaphylactic concerns.
Right.
that you have to fill out, and that's why they monitor you for a little while afterward.
Yeah.
And then obviously there are side effects that go along with it.
Yeah.
So those all need to be monitored and tracked. That was the interesting
Right, the
thing. that
tracking,
every-
yeah.
So they had, there's a card that you get from the CDC that has the dose, what dose it was, the tracking number on it. And all of that is written down. I'm assuming it's in Epic or iChart or whatever the system may be.
Yeah.
So they keep track of all that for the second one. And then that if something goes wrong for whatever reason, they can do if they can track anything and see what happens from there.
Right. So Rick, I
must
think
ask-
it's a great idea, Rick, that you're offering the rec center as being a station, a place for people to be able to go, if it comes down to that.
To me, to Terry and me, it just made a lot of sense because seniors are comfortable coming there.
Yeah,
They know us, and to Nick's point, I believe she said the EMTs could administer these shots, so we could get the.
It'd probably have to be, I would imagine it'd be a paramedic.
Right.
Mhm.
Because I don't think EMTs can in any environment can administer any sort of vaccine.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, people from emergency medical service,
Yeah,
I guess, EMS. So
Rick,
they could do
Rick,
that they would commit to it, but it just makes a lot of sense. You know, we could get a large crowd. We could, I'm sorry, not a large crowd, but we can schedule them by appointment. We could probably put through, I don't know, maybe 50 or 60 people an hour. I don't know, but we could do it in the Guilford room. Then we could have like the waiting area could be, you know, any other room in the building. We could send them there for their 15-minute wait. But we could do it by appointment. And, you know, obviously the third phase of part of this is then they got to come back for the second shot, you
Yep,
know, a month
right.
later. I believe it's Moderna. Moderna is the one that the town's using. And the other thing Nick mentioned, or one of you asked about holding area, or I'm sorry, I'm not sure the right term here, but the East Shore Health District, which I think is in Branford, they're the ones that are going to receive the vaccine locally, and then it goes out from there, you know, to us, whether we need 2,000 for the community center or they're going to Walmart, Walgreens or whatever, they're coming from there.
Okay.
and Rick, maybe I missed, but town hall's on board with this?
Well,
That's
we
what
just
we're
met today,
discussing.
so I'm just reporting to you, this is what we talked about this morning with Sonia. Sonia's the
Okay.
health director, and I think she says this is a good way to go. I think they're gonna agree to it probably.
We'll
'cause
have to
it's-
see.
Oh,
this
you
is
said
her-
it, okay.
Right.
So the health director's on board.
Yeah, she's the one we met with this morning.
All right, good, okay.
Yeah.
Claire, were you trying to say something?
yeah, she's a hot mess. Do you see her mug? That is awesome.
Okay, I
Yeah,
thought
Claire,
I
thank you
thought
for-
I heard you trying to say something. I'm sorry.
She said earlier that Suzanne was trying to get in. Suzanne, I'm sorry I didn't see you.
Somebody- I think
Yeah,
I-
just letting you know, Suzanne was there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got it.
All I was saying is that they just said in the news flash today that they were going to start as of the 18th. Someone,
As of the
I think Rose, you asked about when. I mean,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that would be here, but that I think, you know, the
Dennis is very easy.
start is the 18th.
I mean, he's already sending notes to the doctor already.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
very
I
easy,
spent
that's the thing.
an hour on hold. My mother lives in New York City, as most of you know.
Oh,
and
they got,
there
they're-
was some hotline open as of today and a website, and there's a whole list of places where you
Yeah.
can call to get the vaccine. Most of which had voicemails that said we are not administering the vaccine. And you know, they use the my chart equivalent for, you know, the hospital system she's in there. And anyways, it took up a lot of my day. And
well,
you know,
if you
not-
look at the news this morning, it makes it sound like they have opened up every place and they're just handing
No.
them out like crazy. You know, that's how it sounded. Because I was looking at that thinking, damn, I might as well just go to New York online, get my.
no, because she doesn't have an appointment. Like I spent a lot of time today and it was like, we got to try again later. So
Yeah, there's been a bunch of like things on the news about, you know, people in Florida and like walking through a day of someone just trying to do what you did today. To
Yeah.
get it even somebody to talk to. It's crazy.
yeah.
And then they were saying there are people who show up even though they don't have an appointment in the hopes that they'll get it, and they're messing up the lines, and it's.
Yeah.
Welcome to the last 6 months of my life, Rose.
Yeah. I
Thank
can
you,
believe it.
Nick. Thank you.
Although I have to say, I had to go get a COVID test this week at St. Raphael's, and it was in and out. It was amazing how well organized.
Yeah, it
was.
is.
And I imagine a lot of the places are that well organized. It was in, out, hardly had to wait. It was.
Yeah,
really-
that's what Yale is too. We have Yale Health Plan and it's been wonderful. But it's unfortunate that it's not like that for everyone because
Yeah.
it really needs to be. it needs,
Diane, are you going to get tested? Like, because I just found out this week that we're able to get tested. My family's able to get tested at the same testing center I've been using since.
yeah, we all actually, before Thanksgiving, we were all on York Street, that testing facility there. That's where we've all been going.
Yeah. You know, I didn't realize I had a COVID scare with my 18-year-old this week. So he was symptomatic and, but he tested negative. So we all went and got asymptomatic tested. And I was surprised they could go where I go. You know, I go twice a week. So
Yeah. Still be
Webster
careful.
Bank Arena opens next week.
I got word that, I mean, I know quite a few people that are nurses at Yale, but like there's been some sort of a bad batch going around where everybody's getting a lot of false positive tests. I'm not sure what that's about, but like
Mine was negative. I'm not gonna worry about it.
even though you get a negative test, and I'm sure Laura can tell you this too, I never thought I would have had a positive test. So just don't not be safe. Like you still have to continue to do everything.
Oh, yeah, we do. You know we do. I mean, no, we do.
Crazy.
You know.
So
I have to say,
I must ask, I don't mean to be a killer here, but what are we talking about? Like, what are we, are we voting on something?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I am trying.
I've been on an all-day webinar
track.
for years, and I'm like, what are we doing? Okay, sorry, so.
Okay.
Laura,
Now,
Laura, I second that.
We're done with Rick's report.
Let's
Ellen's
get back on
report.
board.
So
Well
just to
busy.
close that part of it, I brought it up just to let you know something we're looking to do. And Sonia was being proactive because she didn't want to call me like tomorrow and say, hey, can we get into community center like Thursday? Because we've got a bunch of batches that we can inoculate people. So we're being proactive. We'll be ready to go whenever they say we can do it.
All right.
That's awesome.
Plan.
That's awesome.
I'll be there Friday. Wait for me. All right. Recreation Supervisor, Ellen. Any questions on Ellen's report? All right.
I have a question.
Okay.
I'm curious about the bingo.
BINGO.
Because in the past, I've tried to hold bingo at the rec center and I was told it's not allowed any sort of cash collecting or cash prizes for bingo. And then I saw this come up across Facebook. So I'm just wondering how we got around it.
Well, it's not really bingo. I believe it's people go to different parks and take pictures of themselves or something like that, and it's like they fill out almost like a bingo thing, and it's really not bingo. It's going to the parks and getting out and taking a selfie or something. Say, hey, I'm at Bittner Park or I'm at Chaffinch or something.
Got it.
I think more of that. It's not bingo as you think of it.
Not gambling bingo, like filling out the card. It's filling out the card with actual activities.
Right.
Completing activities. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Although they do play regular bingo, but I don't think there's prizes. Okay, Todd's report. Anything about the building maintenance? Any questions on that?
One thing I'll just mention is that the Faulkner room, the new blinds started to get put in last week. They're not done yet.
Oh,
But
good.
we've been pushing that, if you remember when we've had our meetings up there,
Yeah.
some of the blinds we couldn't close, we couldn't open them. Some had duct tape holding them together.
Awful.
So we're replacing all of them. They're original. They're 27, 28 years old. So we're replacing all of them.
Good. And we're glad to see the fireplace will be working again. So that's good.
Yeah, it's not yet, but we're working on that.
That's okay. Well, by the time we get to use it, it's going to be a while anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Terry's report. Any questions on Terry's report? So we're back to delivering a lot of meals again, a lot of food again, I guess, huh?
Yeah, and we do have the new bus. You saw in your first paragraph.
Saw it, yeah.
It's something that I want to mention though, that happened today at the department head meeting. Terry was named by Matt Hoey as Employee of the Month.
Oh, that was nice.
Great.
Once she likes to list outstanding employees, she had 3 nominations. One of them was for me, one from Patty, and one from Tammy DeFrancisco. There were other, well, I got to say with, I don't know, a sense of pride is the right word, but there were 3 other people who got nominations, and of the, I think 5 people who got nominated, 4 were from our department.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
nice. Nice.
Nice
So
job.
that's kind of a prideful statement, I guess, but it's
That's great.
just the kind of staff we have. But Terry got it, and she was well deserving, highly recognized by the committee that selected her, and Matt Hoey made that announcement today.
Great.
That's wonderful news.
Now, she
Yeah.
doesn't have it here, but I think we're doing a couple of lunches too this month, aren't we? At least 2 or 3 lunches?
Yeah, there's one this Wednesday. 190 people have signed up for this Wednesday.
Yeah,
It's the next 3 Wednesdays in a row.
okay. All right. If she needs help, tell her to call me.
Okay.
I'm happy to help out. Okay, the park foreman report. Any questions on that?
Again, I'll just make a comment where you might wonder, we said dump old bridge for Vintner Trails. So if you remember, there was a Boy Scout who made a proposal. We've had 3 bridge projects at Vintner. This one was Roman, can't remember his last name, but he, the main trail from the, below the, from the parking lot, the main trail on the right going out to the woods, there's that bridge that was very steep going up, it was leveled off, it was steep going down. He took that out and built a new bridge that's lower.
Yes, I was on I walked it yesterday, yes.
Yeah, it's much easier to walk on that.
Yeah.
So, I told them if they leave the old one in the parking lot, we'll get rid of it. So that's what Tony was referring to there.
Okay. I did go up to Bittner yesterday, and there had to be in the upper parking lot about 30 cars.
Yeah.
There were 5 or 6 kids out on the skate pad. There were disc golfers everywhere. There were people walking. It's so used for this time of year. It's amazing.
It is. Yeah, I was there Saturday. Same thing. There were seniors playing pickleball, another group coming to play, and probably 8 or 10 people on the skate park. And I counted, I actually played disc golf. I counted like 20 people that I saw just in the time I was there playing disc golf.
Yeah, so it's great. Where did we cut trees down at Quanapug?
Yeah, I got to ask Tony. I think their trees had fallen down. I think they were in the parking lot area.
Okay.
Near where the staff parks. I think it was in that area there, and they cut them up and stacked them up there.
Okay. All right. Any other questions on that report? Any questions on any report before we move on? Okay, ever onward. Unfinished business. Oh, my favorite. ADA. The weather's good. Can we get to this?
I think you skipped part, Rose.
Oh, I skipped
For
yes.
7.
Standing fields. Tell them, Eager. Standing fields.
There was no meeting in December, but I met on Friday with Paul Schmidt, Mike Ott, and John Kennedy at Baldwin. If you remember, in our capital budget, we have a drainage project there along the fields. And then it's got to be kind of a priority because Cliff Gurnham is planning on putting a sidewalk on all along that side of the road to go down to Baldwin. And you can't do it before we do the drainage project. He wants to do that this summer. So I let Mary Jane know that they got to make sure that one goes through. If they're cutting anything, that really it's got to be in there because he can't do the sidewalk and then we do the drainage after. It's got to be the drainage first.
Yeah.
And he wants to do that. It's a relatively inexpensive. I think it's $36,000 is what we have in there for it. But that's there was no meeting, but Sandy Fields meeting, but I met with them Friday up there to discuss that project.
All right. Green Committee, anything that we need to know?
No meeting in December.
Okay, Claire, land acquisition.
Got nothing.
You stand for every month.
Yep.
That's what the whole meeting is held in executive session, right? Just about.
Yep. Just me and a bunch of guys. It's great. I'm the youngest one by at least 10 years. Splash pad, nothing to report. Mandy and Ellen have started talking again about fundraising and activities and drawing attention to it. But that is all I know on that so far.
Can I just add to that, Claire? They had a conversation today, and Ellen came up with an idea with a run, walk, bike fundraiser that anybody could do on their own time. And the idea would be that, whoever logs the most miles would get some kind of prize at the end. But it's a fundraiser. They get sponsored or they pay a fee to do it. She and Mandy talked about that today. And I think we're going to move forward with that. A lot of it's going to be mostly our department doing the work. As long as you guys are okay with that, because it'd be hard for Claire or Mandy to work We can do it. We're hoping to raise, if we get $5,000 or $10,000, it'll help toward the splash pad.
Awesome.
That'd be great. I talked to Ellen this week too. I thought my biggest concern is that we keep awareness out there that we are still working on this and we haven't forgotten about it. So
Right.
that would be great.
I think it's a good time to capitalize on this, Krista. I think it's a good time to capitalize because people are looking for outdoor things. I mean, I know the golf course is doing great and I know all our outdoor activities are doing wonderfully well. So now's the time to pick up on it if people are working.
Yeah.
It's got a dual purpose, ultimately it's to raise money for the splash pad, but to your point, Lori, it's to get people outside. They're doing it anyway. You see a lot of people walking, biking, and so if they can just log their miles. The Rotary Club did this for the Frosty, it was called the Frosty 5-day this year instead of 5K. And people logged their miles over a 5-day period. The winner was not who ran the fastest, it was who logged the most miles. And actually Joe Sullivan, who works for us, his wife, Cindy, we had the most miles over anybody, more than any man. She did 125 miles in 5 days running. She ran 25 miles.
Wow, good for her.
And so she was by far the next was a guy, I forgot his name, but he ran 70 miles in 5 days. She was 125. But anyway, it's
amazing.
So that worked. The Rotary raised $14,000 doing that.
That's a good month for me, 125 miles. That's that's insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's 25 miles. Well, yeah, that was 5 days. 5 days.
Yeah, she ran 5 marathons. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good half a year for me.
I was gonna say, me too. It's like, wow.
Yeah, good for them. All right. Well, so okay. So keep us informed, Claire. We'll all walk a little bit at least. All right, now on to unfinished business. The ADA at Chaffinch.
We're making progress. Tony and I are meeting with Mike Ott on Wednesday to get it laid out. And I said to Tony, the weather's pretty good. If we could try to get down there and, as long as we're not getting snow and the ground's not too hard, we could probably start cutting it out. So we're meeting there on Wednesday to get it kind of, get it ready to start laying it out.
Okay. All right. The field closures for the holiday. We don't really have anything to report. I guess we're meeting on the 19th, right? With, Rick and I are going to meet with, what's the Human
Rights
Commission. So we will let you know how that goes.
Yeah, can I make a comment on that?
Sure.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. It's like, I don't know if it's a good analogy, but as far as them coming to us about closing the fields, I mean, to me, that's like, if you're the landscaper at, let's say, a country club, and somebody said something like, they had the bar, it was open too late, in violation of the bar rules, they were going on till 3 a.m. And for those people in the neighborhood to complain to the landscaper that, hey, the bar was open too late last night, we'll say, we're only the landscapers. To me, isn't it the same analogy? Like, we're only the landscaper for these fields. Why are they coming to us addressing that the field should not be open? You know what I mean? Our only role is a landscaper. So they shouldn't be coming to us. They should be going to town hall.
No, they come to us because we schedule the fields. So they think we have that power. So we say who can do what field when. So that's why they think we can do that, but that's not quite the same. And I don't really understand.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a bad analogy, but it's like, well, they're barking up the wrong tree. I mean, it's not for us to close and open the field. That's up to town hall. I mean, we would never mean how would we from Park and Rec be able to pass a policy that says, hey, you can't use the field on religious holidays? I mean, we wouldn't be able to make that decision.
We don't feel that we can. That's what we're going to make clear to them, that we really don't think we can, and that it really is part of our purview here. But I understand why they think, they came to us, because I think they think we have that power, and that because we schedule the fields, that we can control that.
Well, let's say for argument's sake, a policy does go through. You can't use the field on a religious holiday, right? So let's say it's the track or it's the football field. So I'm up there with my 3 or 4 of my family members, and I want to walk on the track, okay? And it's a religious holiday, but I'm a different religion, so I can't go on that track. I mean, like that's crazy.
I
I
understand.
understood it more that I
It's
thought
the
it was more about
organized.
scheduling, organized, not that individuals can't use the
Right.
field on days that were closed. It's just you couldn't have a game or something.
The soccer club, the softball club, the organized teams would not be able to use them. But then again,
Yep.
you're gonna say who's organized, who's not, who's gonna control it. Who's going to-
What's
Hey,
the difference?
Rick,
What's the difference? You're going to close the field. You're going to close the field, right? I mean,
Well, I think we all agreed on already. I think we all agreed on this. We sent the letter out and, we gave a response and we, in it, we said, we only close fields for maintenance issues or weather related issues, period. That's it. That's the only time we
Yeah.
close. It's not our role to decide on what holidays to close or open. I don't think it's anybody's role, really. I think it's a public place. If people want to use it, they use it.
I was just
I mean,
saying,
if we want to go to that extent, we should say people should be in church on Sunday morning. There should be no youth football on the fields. I mean, where do you
Yeah,
stop
but
it?
I guess what I'm trying to say is too, is like, I admire you for meeting with them. It's always good to meet with people. But then again, it's like, hey, you don't like our answer, then go to town hall. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to continue arguing with them.
Rick, did
No.
we get their written response? Because in that email of their minutes or whatever that you had sent out, it said that they were responding to us. Did we ever get a written response, or did you guys just say that you would meet
No,
with
no.
them?
I think
No,
the
they-
response was they're asking to meet with us.
Yeah, that was it. They
Their
sent an
response
email.
was
What was
asking to
that?
meet with Rick, and so I said, we're gonna go.
I mean, I think
So
what I would
I
hope for-
trust. I'm sorry, Tara, go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say, I think what I'd hope for in that meeting is that we're all, and I agree that it's not our role to make those decisions about it. And so I think it's worthwhile just to talk and get on that. But I just think it's the youth organizations that need to make these
I agree.
decisions.
I agree.
We're just a facilitator and we're not doing it. And I don't think it's, they're
I think we just have to try to get that point across to them in a nice and gentle a way as we can.
right.
I
So
think-
I think it's, I think it's
appreciate
good that
where they
you and
come
Rick are
from.
going to discuss it with them because there can be understanding on both sides. But I think the ultimate thing is the only way anything is going to change is if the youth organizations are on board with some, it doesn't have to mean closures, but some statement about.
Right.
I don't have a statement that they'd be closed, but I mean that if kids take off because of a religious thing, there's no penalty,
Right.
whatever it might be.
Right.
So.
And I did tell them that I spoke with all the presidents of youth sports and they all made that statement pretty much, Tara, that nobody would be punished or banned or something for.
But maybe it should be more maybe it would satisfy them if it's more formalized instead of like, of course you wouldn't be. And this is, I'm going off track because none of this has anything to do with us. I'm just saying that I think it's good if you and Rose go and speak to them and then, it really is out of our court, whatever is going on with that.
I didn't hear, what was the answer to Claire's question? And it's a good question. Did they respond to our letter?
Their response to our letter basically was asking to meet with us. Rather than
But-
writing back and forth, they just asked that we would just meet with them. That was that was their response.
So why don't we just put them on the agenda? Like, why wouldn't they be on the agenda?
Rick
Why
and
wouldn't
I
they
are
be here
going to-
tonight?
Rick and I are going to, they invited Rick and I to their meeting on the 19th.
Right.
Okay.
I think that's good.
So we should be able to do that. And to go back, Lawrence, when we close the fields, even when we close them for rain, there's no gates that go up. People still can go on there. I mean, they're closed, but they're not gated closed. So our fields basically are always open for people.
Yeah, I mean, just part my language, but it just sounds like you're gonna get into a pissing contest with them at the meeting. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, I don't
If
think
they
we're-
didn't,
I
we
get
gave them our answer, and if they don't like it, I mean, what else do they need to know? You know
Well,
what
I
mean?
think
Like,
Tara's right. I mean, we just need to talk with them, explain it maybe a little better. Sometimes when you talk to people,
Understanding.
you could get the point across a lot better than just throwing it in a piece of paper.
all right, thanks
So
for
I
doing it.
think
Good
we can-
luck.
I think, if we, like I said, we go in there with kind, gentle hearts and we'll just explain to them,
Well, and I think some of us can see that in some certain cases, maybe that, people can have valid requests about things or parents can have concerns, but it's just not our role to
do it.
make any decisions about it. So
Right.
And I think
I
they,
support you
they
guys
might
though.
understand that, Tara, because they did ask me if I'd be able to provide them with the contacts for all the youth sports, which obviously I can and I will.
Yeah.
We'll see, at that meeting next week. But I have them. I can certainly email them the contacts for each group. I think they'd want to reach out to them to make them be sensitive to it, and like we all said, it's up to them, to each sports group to make that decision, not us.
Hmm.
The fields are available. If people want to use them, they can use them.
I agree.
They want to hike on the
Okay.
trails, they can hike. You can't shut them down.
We'll let you know next month how that goes.
Yeah.
If not before. All right, disc golf.
We're beginning to, I think the next week or so, we'll start doing more of the clearing of the fairways, the long fairways. And we are offering a virtual challenge. Our Taryn and Connor are working on that for people to just go play whenever they want, over a 5-week period, call their scores in, and at the end, whoever's got the best score average would get some kind of prize. So far, I think there are only 3 people signed up. We are charging $10, so that money would go toward, long-term improvements to the course. We're eventually going to have to buy more baskets if we're going to go with the long course and tee pads and everything else. So there's we got to raise about $10,000 probably to do it. But sorry.
Okay, so to that end, I know that we have an account that we put aside for fields. Money coming in. So we'll start another. I hate to make 400 accounts. I know how awful this could be, but we'll have another account so it's sort of dedicated to this, so that when we do things like that, the money will go back. I mean, we'll have it in an account so that we know it goes back into the disc golf.
Yeah, yeah. And we had one because, and Chuck and Ellen is probably still in there somewhere, because when we had the sponsors, that all donated the $12,000, there was an account we set up for that. So it's probably their named somewhere already.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Just to make sure it doesn't get all lost somewhere,
Yeah.
Nothing lands. All right. Pickleball tennis courts.
Okay. Well, again, good news on that. I hope finally I met Friday with Mike and Tony. We're taking down all the trees that have to come down on the bank where, with the just beyond the pickleball courts that are there now.
Is that why there are markers up there? I think we saw.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
perfect.
ribbons.
Good.
Yeah. That was for them to mark out the extent of what they have to take down.
Right.
So I think they got most of it done today. I spoke with Mike today. We're going to get the bid specs out to bid this month with hope to have construction beginning in March. So we're finally making something happen.
Good.
Rick, again, how many courts are they putting in?
4 new ones. And they'll be permanent. The nets will stay. So right now, if people want to play, they got to set up and take down their own nets, but the nets will stay there, like tennis. There'll be posts and nets that will be up.
Great.
The plan is to begin construction in March.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, new business. The operating budget. Well, we're meeting the 20th at 9:00 in the morning for presentation to our Board of Selectmen, and we'll just see what happens and we will get back to you.
Yeah, and I don't know if I had this information, Rose, when we did our budget workshop, but it came out to, not counting salary increases, we don't have those yet. It's about a 6.3% increase. It's a bigger increase than we've ever submitted. Well, in recent years, I should say anyway, but remember the driving thing on that is increased water, because now we're picking up the Cox water bill that the Board of Ed was paying for before.
And the splash pad water.
The splash pad water, yep. We kept that in the event that the splash pad happens. And then also under the maintenance line, we're providing portlets, at the Marina now. We're paying for that, and also the stump dump. And the cost of those portlets has gone up a bit. So there was a few $1,000s there. The cost of the lease for the office trailer went up. And then
Fireworks.
The fireworks, the $12,000 that we had to cover under reimbursables or program account last few years. It used to be in the budget, we put it back in. So those are the driving things that cause the increase. And I think they're all justifiable. And hopefully we can convince the Board of Selectmen that in the Board of Finance that support it. We got to do it.
Rick, when did those, I forget just the time frame of when did those portalets at the marina become ours? How long has that
About a
been?
year or two.
This year. I mean, it wasn't really in our budget this year. We were told this year that
Yeah.
they're ours now.
I still can't wrap my head around that, but okay.
I know.
Yeah.
I noticed the portalet though up at Bittner. We needed that back there. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's one thing. Yeah, that's a field. That's something that we have. I don't know. I just don't understand what we have to do with the marina, but.
It upsets me because the marina generates its own money. It doesn't get a budget from the town. So couldn't they just generate a little more and pay for the portalets?
Yeah.
And
But I get it with, having it all under one contract, but there's other things that we've done in the past where that commission or board or department has paid us. So it's kind of like we hold it, it's on our thing, but then we get reimbursed by them, and that I don't understand why they're not reimbursing us.
Mhm.
Like I get having one contract to make it, the more you have, hopefully you get a better deal and all that and have the same timelines, but they should be reimbursing.
you're renting slips out, like Kathy just said. So you're renting boat slips out to people. Those are the majority of the people using the portalet. I mean, I don't personally go to the docks and look at the view and say, oh, I got to go to the bathroom. So like when you look at the majority of the people using those portalets, it's from the boat owners that are renting a slip there. So I have no idea what that has to do with Park and Rec at all.
I think part of their claim is it's really like a park because people come there and eat their lunch. They're not all using the boat slips and they're walking down there and turning around.
So what's next then? We have to start maintaining we have to start maintaining the waterfront there because people are using that as a park.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do. I mean, that has nothing to do with Park and Rec. I
What
really.
happened, Rick?
I'm still here.
Okay.
That was Lawrence.
That was great.
Oh, that was Lawrence. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I dropped it.
You okay?
I'm here. I just dropped my iPad.
Oh,
Well, it's
thought
good.
you
We
were
don't say
fine.
bruises on you. But and we're doing the stump dump too. What's that got to do with Parks and Rec? But we got to put it under our budget. So, but those are things that add to the increase, and those are things we should be sure to point out, Rose. That you keep dumping these extra things on us, and we have to pay for
Not
them.
to get nitpicky, it's the matter of it. Like a couple $1,000s here, a couple $1,000 that adds up quickly. So
Yeah.
Make a note of it, Rick.
Yeah.
And especially with the year that we just had with COVID, you're not getting the revenue that we normally do at Park and Rec. I mean, I hope.
Well, I've asked Ellen, give me a list of everything that we have had to spend out of our programs budget, and what is coming in is very little. So I wanted those information right in front of me before we meet with the selectmen, because they're going to hear about that one.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, every time we want something, they say, take it out of your reimbursables, take it out of your program budget, take it out, and we have, because we had the money. We said, okay, all right, okay. Yeah, well, now we have the money coming in. So now they've got to step up here and help us out.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll
I would hope that's going to be considered. I mean, I'm hopeful that that's just a reality right now, but
you're more hopeful than I am, but I'm still going to say it because I'm tired of this.
Well, and hopefully it's a 1-year blip. Hopefully we're gonna be back on our feet again. And we'll start.
But meanwhile, help us out for the year.
Yeah.
Don't slash our budget to pieces here. So we'll see what happens. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Shellfish licenses. I guess, didn't we say that if Ellen was willing to do this, we were okay with it?
I think we didn't make a decision last month, but if you wanted more information, so I checked with the clerk's office.
Okay.
They said they sell about 400 a year. Of course, a busy time is spring and summer, which is our busy time too, but about 400. They get, from that fee, they get $3 that goes to their department, because for the administrative costs, $3 goes to them per license, so it's $1,200 roughly. They don't do online. They don't accept credit cards in the clerk's office. So I think they're not looking to get rid of it. And actually, they didn't even make the recommendation. It came from somebody from the Shellfish Commission looking for another opportunity, another place to sell besides the clerk's office. So, it's up to you folks if you think we should try to do it or not. It will add a little work, I think, to our staff. But if it's all online, if we do just online, they do in person, maybe at the clerk's office or something, it's a matter of us getting the information and send it to the finance office.
But again, isn't that a town? That's a town. What's the word I want?
When it goes to the town, it's like getting your dog license. You get it usually.
Yeah,
It's
so
hall,
it's a license. I don't know if we should be comfortable enough to deal with anything that has to do with a license.
Well, it's because we have Rec Pack, and Ellen is able to use it, and that's kind of why this comes to us. And I think Ellen is willing to do this.
I'm sorry, I was part of this conversation before we talked about Shellfish, but now I can't remember if Ellen gets it online, because that would be so easy to do it online. But then we still have to mail all the licenses out though, or something, if people are doing it online, or
Right.
people would come in and pick them up. Because
That's where the work would come.
A check and they give you, because it's not like unless you're allowed to then get I don't know, because it's a special license color paper. It's not like something you just print out, like the fishing license from the state. You can do it online and just print it out, but maybe they would allow that for ours, because the mailing part of it isn't extra.
I just think it's going to be like you're saying, Tara. It's going to be more work than you think it's going to be.
I mean, if it is something where you could register online, I mean, someone has to verify, they check your license at town hall. So there is some verification there that you're, a resident as opposed to a non-resident. It's really much more expensive as a non-resident. And if it's something that you can get then the PDF that it's yours, but I don't know if they'd allow that, because then you could have multiple, someone could print out multiple, and none of the Shellfish Commission are, really going to know if Diane and I are sharing a tag because we printed 2 of them or something, so they might want more control over the actual license.
Rick, what do you think? Yeah, Rick, you're going to deal with it, Rick.
Although I'm just saying all this just in thinking it through, not saying that you shouldn't do it if it's something that can be worked out, because I live with a clamor who's way into it, and I always have to go to town hall to get the license and all that. So I'm not opposed to it, but it just seems that there would have to be, it's either more work or they'd have to change maybe the system.
Rick, I still have the same question as last month. Are they just looking for us to be the data collector in the use of the credit card, and then we push all of that information to town hall, and the clerk then,
that's a good idea,
prints everything out and does everything, and then you come in with your driver's license and they verify and print it out? So are we just like an information gatherer because we have the online tools, or are they looking for us to do A to Z with the license? Because that's going to be, I think, our deciding factor, because if we're going to have to increase, if we're going to have someone there to verify, or some way to verify license, then we're going to have someone mailing things. And can we mail it? All of that. I think there needs to be clarification on what are they actually wanting us to do, A to Z, or just be the credit card and data collection, push it to town hall, clerk does the rest.
So my thought on it is, my initial thought was, if we can help out another department, why not help out? But not knowing what's going on for the next 3 months with everything else right now, I would say that if we don't have any, if we're limited on the programs we can offer, then we probably have some staff that could do this. However, the Guilford Cares, if that shopping program, we thought was going to be over by now, and it's picking up again. And that takes a lot of time from staff taking those orders, and then Terry and Patty coordinating volunteers. And now, I just said we're offering to do the vaccines. I don't know how long that's going to take. Is the seniors, that all going to be done February and March? If it goes into April and May, which is probably, peak season to get these licenses, it's another role we're taking on. And so part of me is thinking, how much more do I want to burden? I don't want to say burden, but tax our staff with new things when, Or on the other hand, if things clear up and we can go full steam ahead, our programs have to be really busy, catching up where we left off almost a year ago, getting the programs going, getting all the aquatics and getting both beaches open, all the camps, the sports camps and everything else. So I'm not, I guess the more I think about it, the less I'm apt to want to burden our department with more stuff.
Yeah, and Rick, like when you say like, whoever said that last year there was around 400, that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
Seems to me that, Rick, you know your staff, you know what you can handle, you know what you can do, and you can, we can't really predict a lot. But I think you're the one that should say yay or nay, and we should go with your decision.
Okay.
I second that, Laura.
Rick,
I second that.
is Ellen doing something also with Rec Track and the golf course?
With the golf course, and I think maybe the dump too, the transfer station, or some other. No, it's either that or I think it's the transfer station. Yeah, she's setting up a whole thing with the golf course for a golf track. It's called where they can register. It's really a pass through. It's going to take her some time to set it up, but I think all the information is going to go. Laura, you're on the golf commission, I think, right? It goes to who's the woman in charge, the chair of the golf commission?
Oh, I know who you mean.
Sorry, Brittany Merrills. Yeah.
Brittany, yeah.
I think it would go to to them pretty much. I think it's really a pass through. There's some effort to set up, but I don't think we're not managing it.
Okay, so once it's set up, it's a hands off.
All that.
Yeah,
All right.
no, they're just, I think they're just guiding us in what we're doing and moving forward. So,
Okay. All right. Okay. I mean, I'm just, I remember talking to her about it, and I just don't want us to be, taking care
There's
of
a good-
everybody's charges all over town now,
I agree. So say no to the shellfish. Let's just say no.
I know, and then I like to help people too, but then it's like, it's hard. I just don't want to
Right.
see you guys totally
Wouldn't this
overwhelmed.
just be resolved? Is there a reason why town hall just can't have some way to run a credit card? I mean,
That's
because
what
that's
I'm
the
looking
issue.
up online right now, Tara, because I'm
What?
going, why can't the town clerk's office take credit card? Like, what am I
know,
missing?
Like for
I don't-
anything, I don't know.
All right, wait a minute.
I don't understand either.
Whenever you use a credit card, there's a fee involved, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who's going to eat the fee if we take the credit card and send the money to them?
Well,
Anyone
very
else
good-
but us.
good
Anyone
point,
else
Rose,
but us.
because you know what, the beach passes, we did that all by credit card. I forgot what the number was, but somewhere around $3,000 or $4,000 of credit card fees.
Huh.
So I talked to Mary Jane about this, and Mary Jane,
Hate it.
that's not be coming out of our budget because all the revenue goes to the town.
Yeah.
So I said somewhere the town's got to reimburse us that fee, because right now we're paying that out of the program account, and all the money goes to the general fund. So I said that we got to make sure we get that money back. Why are we paying the credit card fees for money that goes to the general fund? It's not Parks and Rec money. So she said yes, that they'll make sure they cover that. So, but that's a good point. I mean, for years, for all the programs, obviously, we've been eating the credit card fees, but we had
But it's our program.
money to cover it. We could do it. Now we can't.
but it's our
When it's
program,
our
right?
programs and our, it's our decision, and it pays for us to do that because
Correct.
I charge all my programs. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but it does, right, like you said, it's our program. It's,
Right.
okay. Okay, just two
Right.
other quick things. I did talk to Peter Barrett about sending the letters for the property lines at Chittenden, but he didn't know the names of the people. So I don't know, Rick, do you know the names of the people? I somebody at town hall has to know. I mean, this isn't
Yeah.
my job to
Well,
find out
maybe-
who the people are.
Yeah. Well, I think either Janice's office or Kevin McGee, or the assessor would have to know.
You could look it up on the website. I mean, you could look it up on the town. We have I'm not telling you should, but it's public. I mean, it's on
What
the
about tax
it's up by the
records?
the tax records. Yeah.
Let's think about this. This is town hall. You think somebody in town hall would be
Yeah.
able
No, someone should be.
It's on the town's website.
It
on the
is.
opening page.
and he's got the letters written. So Rick, can you just give him a call and sort of nudge him to help him find out who these people are so we can send the letters?
Yeah, just go to Guilford GIS. It maps out the whole town. You know what I'm talking about, Rick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I
gonna
just-
show, obviously, the boundaries of what properties are, near the fence. Yeah, Guilford
Yeah, but-
GIS.
If you go on the town's website and the opening page, go down to the like helpful links, and you go to online assessments and you put in whatever road you want, and it gives you a list of all the
Everybody.
people that live on
Yeah.
the road.
You know, to make it easy for Pete, I'll just get somebody in my office to just look it up and find out, who are the 3 property owners we're talking about.
Perfect, and just.
Yeah, but if
Okay.
you go onto the tax records, it's not gonna give you the address. You're gonna need to know the address, and
You
Right.
don't
the only
go
way
on
you're gonna know the
Patty's
address of where
talking
the
about.
property is you go onto Guilford GIS, and it has it has every single lot in the town
Yeah.
of Guilford mapped out, and you go down to Chittenden Park, and you're gonna see the properties, and you just click on that, and that'll give you the address and who owns the property,
They
because
know
you're
the
gonna need an
property.
address if you go into the tax records, or a name.
It does. You just put the street in and it lists everybody that
Yeah,
lives on the
lives
street,
on
their
the
name and
street.
address.
Yeah, but you don't, but how are you gonna know which properties are next to the fence?
Oh, there's not that many, so.
Yeah, it's 2 or 3 maybe, I think
I'm
that's it.
confident that someone in the office
Yeah, so just
We-
give
figure it out.
him a nudge.
Yeah.
Give him a nudge, okay. And is there, any chance that by summer we may have the extra bocce courts?
No. Unless we can get a scout to do it as a project or something, because our guys can't do it, and
Okay,
we just wouldn't have time to do it.
all right. Just
Uh,
ask.
Rose wanted that extra bocce court.
Hey, no, actually Ruth wants
5.
it. I just play, Ruth does the organizing. Ruth Mioli does all the organizing, bless her heart.
Yeah.
and-
She's good, yeah.
Yeah, but when you get so many people, it's really hard to do. All right, any other business? Last call.
Nope.
Oh, wow. All right,
Good luck, Rose and Rick, good luck with with your meeting.
oh, it'll
Thank
be
you.
fine. I have great faith. Okay, motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
Second.
Second.
all in
I
favor?
second it too.
Aye.
All right,
Aye.
everybody, stay
Aye.
safe.
All
Oh,
right.
thank
Bye.
you.
Good night.
Sorry again about the confusion. I don't know. I have no idea what happened. Why nobody.
That's all right.
It's
beginning.
okay. Thank you, Rick, for everything.
It's all
And
fine.
Rose
Thanks,
and
Rick.
everybody else
For coming.
does so much more than me.
Stay safe, be good.
Bye.
Okay, see you, buddy.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.